Man, I don't even know where to start for the first time. So much happened. Just proud of the guys that stepped up when KD went out. Obviously, I saw the play. He tried to jump stop and make contact, and he turned his ankle over all by himself, didn't step on anyone's foot. And he re-injured that ankle. He's probably hurt that ankle 4 really good times this year to where he was like exactly how he was. It hadn't happened in some months, but right before we went to Vandy, it was pretty tender going into the first part of the season. So that same ankle, he hadn't stretched it that far in a while. So when he went down, I knew exactly what it was. But we had to lock in on the rest of the crew. And for a moment there, Elijah McCadden looked like the best player on the floor. He took over. And DeAndre Williams was being DeAndre Williams. Keontae chimed in. Even Jaden, the big buckets that he made right there in the beginning of the game were crucial. And, Chandler with the deflections, and DeMaurier with the biggest steal of the game, the biggest steal of the year, and the biggest finish of the year to us with what we had going. And I'm just proud of the guys.
I don't know if you realize this. You guys attempted one shot in the final 5:21 of regulation. It was DeMaurier's layup at the end. You said so much happened in such a, what was that like for you down the stretch, watching things kind of, disintegrate without a point guard, and then just the 180 of winning the game the way you won it?
Yeah, it was, I saw the momentum shifting to them. And it seemed like we were just trying to hold on instead of continuing to play. And it's easy for me to say because we've never had to do that without KD this year. And I'm watching this, and I'm just trying to figure out how to continue to keep these guys uplifted during the timeouts, call certain plays where we can get baskets. DeAndre started pressing a little bit, and we got a little stagnant. And then, obviously, self-inflicted wounds on the turnovers were incredible. To have 24 turnovers and still win, that just shows you what defense can do.
Penny, have you ever been this, relieved that the referees didn't call a foul? You guys were trying to foul there at the end, and it was like they just were swallowing their whistle, and it worked.
First, 2 things I have to say. Shout out to the student section. The student section was tremendous today with the noise. And what happened was the crowd was so loud, I was screaming foul, but the team acted as if they didn't hear me because I was screaming. It was so loud. And that's just having a great home fans, because we were screaming the foul. And we got the steal, and it went from foul to, okay, go, and he made the layup.
Jonathan's wherewithal to punch that ball forward, that's just instinct, right?
That's his IQ. That's Jonathan's IQ. That's why I keep calling his number and calling his name, because he's a winner, and he makes plays like that. And for DeMaurier to pick that up and go down and lay it up, especially with what just happened with DeAndre, he punched the ball out and then went down, and Young caught him and stole the ball from him with a minute to go, and we were like, oh, my gosh. And to get that same play again, and I see Taylor Hendricks chasing DeMaurier down, and we've been working with DeMaurier on his left-hand finishes because he would always finish right-hand, and that's the layup that he makes off the steal to win the game. That's just God.
And then last for me, do you have a prognosis yet on Kendrick?
I don't. He's a tough kid. He's going back home. I don't know how bad it really is. He put the boot on for precautionary reasons because I'm sure he wants to play in Houston. And he got off of it as fast as he could. But it's a reoccurring injury. And when you have those, because I've had plenty of those, when you turn it over like that, it hurts as if it was done the same way. But it's like the pain. You can't take it that night. Get a couple of days, and you recover from it. So I'm hoping that's what happens for him.
I know it's just one bucket, but I know DeMaurier had his struggles, recently. How much can something like this help his confidence, do you think?
It'll help his confidence a lot because he's a guy that's searching for it. And he did so many great things in those few seconds. He laid the ball up, DeAndre with an incredible wall up on Johnson, and then DeMaurier was the one that kind of got the rebound and held it down, and then we ended up winning. So, come on. That's you can't script it any better.
All right. Coach Hardaway right here. Obviously, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You talked about Elijah McCaden earlier. You had him play 36 minutes, basically, kind of carrying a heavy workload. He scored 16 points, 16 huge points, 8 huge points out of the 20 that you scored in the second half. What do you have to say about his impact on the game?
Man, there's nothing that he won't do for us. He guards the best team's player. He played point guard and got tired today because he really doesn't ever have to play point guard. Maybe a couple possessions. He guarded 1 through 5, and he got great offensive rebounds. Rebounded the ball well at the precise times, made his free throws, and just made winning plays the whole night. Just proud of his growth.
What was the mood in the locker room, Penny? And have you ever been a part? I mean, you've seen a lot of basketball, but anything quite like this?
I don't think I can remember in college us having one like that, especially at home. I don't remember that. Obviously, the last second shot at Temple with KD, we were tied, but being down 1, no. I mean, the mood in the locker room was everybody was elated because we accomplished something that UCF didn't think that we could do. We didn't have a true point guard out there, and we won the game. They had their full team back tonight for the first time in a long time, and we're missing Alo, we're missing Malcolm, and then KD was having a game where it looked like he was going to go for 30 points, and then he twists his ankle.
Yes, Coach, as you mentioned about Lomax and Sunday, you thought about bringing them in for Sunday. Does this injury to Kendrick make you kind of look, gotcha?
If Alo's not ready, if Malcolm's not ready, they're going to stay out. I mean, that's just how basketball works. It's got to be the next man up mentality. Unless Alo comes to me and go, hey, I'm ready, don't be ready because KD is out. Be ready when you're ready. So he and Malcolm know that they're going to go out there when they're ready.
I know you're happy to get the win, but there are so many teachable moments from this game, especially in the last 17 minutes. What's some of the teachable moments, other than having another conversation with some of the players on what you need to do in certain situations?
Yeah, just offensively, we needed the flow of the ball. We need body movement and flow of the ball. We hard cuts, sharing the basketball, first available shot, best shot, good to great, we would have been okay. But we started being very stagnant. The ball started playing through DeAndre. He was pressing a little bit because he wanted to win the game. And that's just his competitive nature. To us, it's just spread the floor, hard cuts, move the basketball, and keep playing defense the same way. You just can't turn the ball over.
I was going to ask you along those lines. There's not really a formula for how to win without the Conference Player of the Year, but how do you go about doing that if you don't have him for a few games here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just have to, kind of junk the game up for us defensively. And offensively, we got to just space the floor and just be basketball players.
I was going to ask how you survive without him. It sounds though like you haven't given up the idea that he could be back, if not for Houston, shortly thereafter. You'll give it a night, or whatever, and see how he is tomorrow. Is it?
It is pretty serious if he stays out of the game and doesn't come back. But I think he felt, knowing him, we got this one. I'll just get myself ready, get off my feet, and be ready for Houston, which he knows is going to be a tough game. And then tonight was a tough game. His teammates held him up. If he doesn't play in Houston, then it's next man up. But I haven't talked to him to see where he actually is on percentage of where he thinks he's going to be by Sunday. Sunday's an early game. You only get 2 days. You get tonight, and you get tomorrow, you get Saturday, and then you get half of Sunday, and then it's the game.